Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-VellCUSTOMS. So today we're going to go over this Gladiator kit review I just got in. Bear with me on all of the boxing and everything. I kind of just wanted to make sure I had everything in here. So let's kind of go over how this is all set up. Just wanted to make sure nothing was damaged, and I kind of went through it already. But we're going to just give you guys a little review. So we're going to start off with this. From Bushy Collector Gladiator, sculpted by Avanish Hedge. Hopefully I said the name right. If I butchered your names, I apologize, but this is the kit. So this is the sticker that I was sent like a week or two ago, and I just got the kit in this Saturday, so I kind of was looking through some of this stuff, and let's kind of break it all down. So the way these kits are coming these days, packed, are amazing, but they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, so you got to bear with me on how I set up my video, because usually you get a box about this wide with kits back in the day because they're not that big, but now we're getting bigger with these kits. So anyway, here is the rings that go around the bottom of the base. So I did pop out the bottom of the base, which is right here. It's this little bowling ball, basically. I'm sorry, it's a planet. But, so let's kind of move this back a little bit. So this ring goes like around here. So as you can see, this is like basically a Captain America shield for a person. You can see how big this damn thing is. So it comes with 3 prongs that go in the base. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I don't know. It's one of those things I have to kind of figure out when I work on this stuff a little bit more. So the top of this box comes off, and then we have another flat piece here, and that flat piece comes off. So this planet piece was in here. And I just wanted to pull this stuff out earlier because it was kind of hard to do it with the camera without breaking anything. Now this is solid, this piece right here. I mean, that's probably weighing about a good, I would say, 8 pounds maybe? 8 pounds, something like that. Here's the cape. The cape was set up over here. I just wanted to make sure this was a really decent cape. So the cape is really thick though. It's a really good thickness of the cape, so it's not floppy and thin. But being such a thick cape, it kind of raises some problems probably because it's going to be hanging on the back of the statue. But other than that, it's beautiful casting. You're just running my hand around it. There's really no roughness. There is a little bit of roughness, but that's nothing that I really have to worry about. Touching it wise, I think there might be a little bit of a mold release on here, so I would have to test on something like a spot like right here. Hit it with some primer. If I see that the primer is kind of like bleeding, I know I got to kind of do some fine sanding and washing out the kit. Most of the time you do have to wash these kits. It all depends on the caster. If the caster is really good, takes their time, and they don't burn out the molds, they could get a lot of copies without destroying anything. But if they try to pump out so many of them and they keep using mold release, you have more problems with primer and paint sticking to your resin. But other than that, this looks pretty good. And as you see, you would probably do your seam line here when you make your mold, at least like the majority of the time. And there's no seam lines, there's no casting errors, there's no bubbles. It looks pretty good. I could tell that this was casted, I think, in from Ownage, because it definitely looks like Onage's resin in the color casting. It smells like it too, and it feels like it. So it's definitely not like Smooth On that you buy here in the USA. It might be the same stuff, but it definitely feels like Ownage did it. Let's see. So you pop off this area here. So real quick, looking at the way this is broken down, I think this kit, I might be able to kind of put it together and put it back into this box and let the client put it back together on their own. Because from what I could tell, from what I heard, I think it's kind of like a magnets and everything too. So, but let's just show you this on here. So this is the bottom of the base, and then you can see the sticker goes here. So if you look around here, it's really nice casted, no seam lines. And then if you look at the notching here, and this notching here, you can tell where the planet will line up. So you have the 2 little holes here, so right away you know the planet lines up like that on the bottom of the base. So you have the bottom of the base like this, and it stays in pretty well. If I kind of turn it, you might hear it. So it's a little loose, but nothing serious. So when I do this for the client, I'll ask them, do you want me to attach this like this, or do you want me to leave it and maybe buy a huge magnet that this will get magnetized into the bottom? You know, I'll have to ask. See what he says. Bear with me too, I think the allergies are kicking in, so it might sound a little congested. Alright, so we got the torso and we got a leg. Now, they look like they stepped up their game to a point where, so this is the torso, this is the leg, and then we have metal rods that it goes in like this. So this has some, this huge metal rod though. I mean, alright, let's get it. Alright, so as you see at the bottom of the foot we have a metal rod. Now, my first impression is, I thought the metal rod went all the way up this leg. But now, when you kind of look at this, let's see if we can kind of get it with the camera. Let's see. Alright. So, if this metal rod is coming straight in here, it's going to come straight up to about here and stop, because if it keeps coming, it'll come out by the back of this ankle. So, I don't know if this metal rod gets bent and then comes up this way. I don't know. Now, we could do a test. If you have a strong magnet, I got these really strong little magnets here, and you can see if this is a metal rod. So this is a metal rod, but it's not really strong, because usually these magnets like click onto this. If this was like pure metal steel, and I kind of give you an example. So this is steel. This metal rod here is steel. So that clicks, and you see it's not moving. I mean, that's, I got to pull that apart because these magnets are strong. So this is a pure steel rod, whereas in this foot, it is metal, but it's not a strong metal. So this metal must be like a mix of aluminum with steel or zinc with steel. But I'm not saying this is a bad metal rod. It's very strong. But my question is, how far does it come up the leg? We don't know, because this magnet's not strong enough to go through the resin to connect to it. So the only way I would be able to know is if you actually try to drum this out, it breaks, or I don't know. See, that's a little concern, because normally what I would do is I would Dremel a rod going all the way up the leg as far as I can for the statue. But I don't know. We'll see once I start putting it together. So if you ever want to know when you're building kits, get yourself some strong magnets, and you can always tell how far a metal rod, if it is metal and not like brass or aluminum or zinc. Alright. So, as you can see with the torso, we have a magnet here, and we have a magnet here for the arms, and then we also have a magnet for the head. But there's no magnets for the legs. So that's something I would have to ask the client that I'm building this for. Do you want me to put magnets in here for the heads, or do you want me to do it correctly and, you know, Dremel out there, and attach this so we have a nice full strong body piece together? You know, it's like, it's either or, because if you kind of, you see, that's a little bit loose. Even though it's a nice good key, it's not super tight. So, you know, you could have a little bit of looseness, you know, on the body. So that's something that I've noticed as well. But once again, the castings are beautiful. I'm not seeing any seam lines. So that's a good thing. Now, we have the head. Beautiful head, beautiful sculpt. See, as you can see, there's a magnet there, magnet in there. It goes in pretty well. So that's good. The head's good and everything. And, you know, as you can see, the cape key goes back there and all that. Now, looking at this head, as you can see, we're not seeing any seam lines. Everything's looking pretty good. But now we have a problem, and I think, and I can kind of see it already before I even put it together. So, this cape goes in the back, right? Now, if we let him stand, you can see that gap underneath those two little notches here and here, how the cape falls back? The cape is supposed to be taut like that at the bottom. But if he's standing and you just place the cape on him, it falls backwards. See, it's not really staying in his back. And then, if we get the head in, it really doesn't lock in place. So if he's standing See how everything's kind of like we got gaps? Everything should be going forward like that, but the cape is so heavy, it's pulling it backwards. And I don't think the legs and the body are even going to push the cape forward. So this is going to be the main problem with this kit, and I can tell already, because you see how I can't even pull the cape out with the head because they lock in, because the key in the back of the body is going in at an angle and the head key goes straight. So what I would like to do is, if it's possible, is try to figure out a way where, hold on, let me do this without breaking any of this stuff. I think the idea and the main goal is at the end of this kit would be to somehow I would like to have the head attached to the cape, and then it goes in and out of the body, and you're good to go. So I'm going to have to talk to the client, see what they want to do, but I think this is the only issue with this kit that I can see. It's just not... This is going to be a little bit of an issue, the cape. That's the only thing I can see. I would have actually liked to see them have done a really big, thick key back here with a really strong magnet, and then the cape would go lock into place. But seeing how there's a magnet already in here with the head and there, I don't know. Something like that I gotta work on. But let's go back to the rest of the pieces. So here is the plastic rods and the neck piece. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to work out that stuff too. That's gonna be a little tricky. And let's see. Alright. But the arms are perfect. So as you can see, this magnet, that magnetizes into the arm perfectly, so there's no problems with the arms. And there's no seam lines, nice good detail. Everything looks great. Keep putting that in wrong. So the other arm will go there as well, and all that. So all in all, really great kit, really great sculpt, amazing packing. Everything's looking really good. The only thing is we're going to have to worry about the cape. So I'm not really going to be working on this kit anytime soon. I just wanted to get all this out of the way just to show you guys. Plus I wanted to make sure all my pieces are in the box, because I didn't want to work on this like in the fall winter time and then all of a sudden I don't have any of the pieces I'm missing, you know. So I'm going to have to talk to the client, see what they want. Do they want it all pieced together and then we ship it in a different box back? Or do they want me to keep everything in pieces and, you know, utilize with the box I have here? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think it is possible. I don't know. We'll see. The way this is cut here, if I do attach the head to the cape and I rig up something, I might have enough room in here where the head doesn't actually hit the edge of the box. So maybe something will work out. I don't know. We'll see. But you can see how well the packing is for all this stuff. So there you go. That's the Gladiator kit review. Sorry about the crappiness of the video, because it's a huge item, it's big, and very hard to kind of place all this stuff together. I would actually start placing him into the base, as you can see here, but I got to make sure that when I do these pegs, it goes in flush and even, because if you attach the legs, but you attach the legs while you're trying to put into the base as well, the things could be at an angle and then they'll never fit in correctly. So you got to kind of build it together and make sure everything works. But that cape is going to be a little bit of a nuisance, and I'm going to have to kind of play with it a little bit and see what I can do. I don't know. We'll talk to the client, see if maybe if I have to kind of build out the key back here a little bit, you know. Maybe I have to build out some of this back here, maybe make a rod or a really thick magnet or something, and see what I need to do. But that's the Gladiator kit review. Give you guys an idea of what it looks like and what you get when you order it, or if you got one coming to you, if you're having someone painting it for you. We'll probably be back down the line in a couple months. Maybe, let's see, what is it? It's April now, so maybe around June, July. I don't know, because like I said, this is not up in rotation yet. But what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll make a video on how I kind of work out this cape onto the body, and we'll go from there. So I'll give you guys some tips and tricks when I'm ready to work on this, of what I've come up with and how I'm going to attach this cape, and once I talk to the client and everything. So there you go. Gladiator kit review. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be back with some more videos.